Got a tinfoil hat. What you know about that?
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Oh no, weather. They can't deliver liquor because of the weather. I didn't think about that. Oh no. Well, they will do it, but hey, como estás, man? I can hear you. Trying to see if maybe I can order the liquor, but it looks like because of the inclement weather, maybe not.
Dude, I hear you. I went to the store and stocked up on necessaries, and then I made about 2 just now. And I am very pleased with this tahini. It made a baller hummus. I also had the foresight to get tequila and a mixed 6 of beers. That's some fucking 2020.
Fucking 2020, man.
Who just showed up? Why, hello, Jersey Strong, Funky Fresh Delaware.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
how's it going?
Doing all right, I guess. How are you?
Doing all right. Let me crack this beer and then we'll be better. I gotta pick one out.
Oh, I should do the same thing.
I will drink a fruited sour by Odell Brewing Company. So, Lagboot, are you completely dry now? Like, are you just gonna have to not drink any alcohol tonight?
Well, I'm seeing if they're I am checking now to see if one of these places will let me do a delivery.
Tell them your DM gave you the okay, the go ahead on it.
Hey guys,
What up, D?
Whoa!
I'm here.
Welcome.
Ugh.
Glad you're not out filming in this weather, huh?
Dude, I have to wake up at 4:30 tomorrow morning and drive to Highlands Ranch for work tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna suck. But you know, that's life. But hey, the production paid for my rapid COVID test and it came back negative, so I got that going for me.
Yay!
Yeah.
I trust everybody else is having a continuous good track record with the coronavirus.
I mean, as far as I know.
That's right. We kicked its ass. We're kicking its ass.
Dude, we're totally gonna round the corner any day now.
What do you mean? Our federal government is basically waving the white flag.
For the coronavirus to take and then wave in surrender because we're totally turning some corner.
Like, they admitted we're not going to get over this. Go. Great. That's the message you want heading in. That's the leadership.
Well, I have I've got like a bubble of people that I interact with now that I've gone back to work. And a couple of times over last week, there have been or last couple of weeks now, it's been like, oh, my ex-wife's new husband got coronavirus just now, and they had the kids last week, and I just found out about it, so let me get tested. Ooh, negative, great. Similar things, like, oh, my wife's coworker's grandma just got it, and she tested positive, and the coworker's got to test out, but we might want to get tested too. Oh, negatives all around. We are aware of the vectors before they infectors.
Yeah, I got the email or a call Sunday night so you're supposed to come to work tomorrow. One of the guys that was working with us today found out he was working on a job with someone that tested positive. So you might be third degree in trouble. And do you want to come to work tomorrow? And I'm like, I'm supposed to be there in 8 hours. This really sucks. Thanks, guys.
I got the clap.
Hold
should have
up.
been wearing you should have been wearing a mask.
I transmitted it to everybody at work.
Rough Riders.
I gave my parents crabs.
I think
one time when I was younger, I gave my parents crabs.
It was quite the occasion.
I think they call that, if you give everyone the clap, I believe they call that a round of applause.
Hi-oh.
Dave and Chris, feel free to use that one with the little kid if you need, the little ones, if you need a dad joke,
A dad joke about
What do
sexually transmitted disease.
What do you call a whole bunch of people with the clap?
Well, hey, the guest dungeon master might make an appearance a little bit later, so as his freaking godfather have at it.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Hey, I've got a little exercise for us before we get into the actual playing of the game.
Ooh.
Aw, exercise.
Yeah, sorry, man. You should go over to heroforge.com, and they have upgraded their site considerably, and they now have a token maker business, and I was one of the backers on Kickstarter for this. So I got what apparently is a shareable link for 1 free year of Token Maker, and I'm going to attempt to share it with y'all right now. It's up here. Okay. Good. Close. All right. If we're all in roll 20, I have just shared what says is a shareable reward code for a year access to Token Maker Unlimited. So if you have a Hero Forge account or just link it to your social media account, you should be able to go to subscriptions or something, or maybe not subscriptions, maybe somewhere, account credit or Kickstarter reward or something. Oh yeah, maybe under Kickstarter code, the Kickstarter rewards. It says enter Kickstarter code. See what happens if you put that in there.
No available reward found for that code.
Same.
Dang. Well, I guess it's not shareable then.
I wouldn't imagine it.
Big minifig is really making lives harder for us little role players.
Big mini. Do you guys have color capabilities in the Hero Forge by any chance, or is that still just for people who have access? Like in the left-hand column, starting at the bottom, it says buy booth color pose. Do you
I
guys
was
see
9
that?
years old when Sandra Day O'Connor became the first woman
I
to sit
clicked
in
off
this
of
seat.
it. Let me
Judge
re-click.
Amy Coney Barrett.
I
see the buy
Americans
button.
of all backgrounds deserve an independent
I see the color button.
Supreme Court that
Nice.
interprets our Constitution and laws as they are written. I pledge to
I
faithfully and
can
impartially
probably
discharge my
share
duties to the American people
the existing
as an associate
tokens I've got
justice of the
of you
Supreme
guys,
Court.
and
Tell
you
the
should be
Senate
able to mess
confirm
around with them
Judge
in
Amy
color
Coney
and keep them updated. Like, oh no, I don't have a shield now. I've got a Qatar stabber. So anyway,
Game masters and world builders gather round.
Where were we?
Today I bring you
On the Next
5
Bardo,
free
previously.
digital map making tools.
We were gonna
Stuff, which is really cool. So
we were going back to
this will
High Garden
generate this
with
town here. We go. We can actually rotate.
you know, the with Ziggy with his hat of brain sluggery on it. And we
Well,
were gonna go.
those are like
What's up?
so that's that. So just so you know, that is like manacles, like it's like brain manacles. Like he's in bondage and in chains. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I guess
He doesn't think good. he can kind of walk when you've got it on him.
so. I got a question. If I were to, I mean, he has to do what I mean, I can do this in character if you want, because I don't really know about what this deal is. I mean, I can try and look at it and identify it, like, but I don't know if this magic is kind of the magic that I understand and jive with, because it's from Delaware. I guess that's a question for you,
But-
Dave.
But didn't we say we were just gonna let him go off and like finish the monster killing, since he created this mess, and we would start spreading the story that he worked for us, and
Well-
that we've deputized him in our stead, but let the people not be confused.
No, well, I found a spell, but I guess my question with the slug was, like, does he have to do what we say? And can we make it so he voluntarily fails his saving throw while he's wearing this hat?
So the hat won't force him to fail any saves. The hat
Okay.
will prevent him from acting. He can't cast spells. He can't communicate. Kind of just turns you into a dunce.
Okay.
Is that
That's like
that about right,
How I
Delaware?
am all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So he just looks
So-
like another member of our party. Um, So-
Actually, I mean, as if we zoom in now, he's got a great thin white Duke outfit going on, and he doesn't quite look like the rest of your party. Like Lagboot, you are pretending to look fairly human to fit in with people, right?
That is, yeah, that is my want.
So this guy's a little dragon hobbit. If he doesn't use his illusions. So if you want him to be recognizable as the guy that has been doing things down in King's Landing and is going to go continue the Bahum clan's reign of righteousness, Might want to let him use his illusions.
But we didn't, right? Like, everyone thought he was. I mean, no one knows him as Ziggy, right? Like, there's no reason that he needs to do that. We were going to let him use his magic so he doesn't just get killed by monsters.
He would probably die if he doesn't get to use his magic against the monsters.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna try first, Dave. I'm gonna cast Owl's Wisdom on myself.
Very wise.
To bump my wisdom up. Bump my wisdom up by 4, and then I'm gonna try and cast Conditional Curse on Ziggy.
All right, tell us about Conditional Curse.
This spell functions as bestow curse, except for that you must state a condition under which the curse is broken, ending its effect. An intelligent target, even one with animal intelligence, understands the conditions, even if it doesn't understand your language. Must be possible for the target to bring about within a year and a day without ensuring its own death, and stated in 25 words or fewer. The curse is more difficult to remove via magic. The DC to remove the conditional curse with a break enchantment or a reverse remove curse is increased by 5. It's a will save to negate.
All right, and if you look up the tree and bestow curse, what kind of curse are you intending to inflict upon him?
All right, so bestow curse is basically like you can, minus 12 ability to an ability score or minus 2 penalty to an ability score.
Are you using, you're looking at greater bestow curse there. Sorry, those numbers are
whoops.
Yep.
That's wrong. Sorry, my bad.
Give him a tiny dick.
You might, well, here's the thing. You may invent your own curse, but it should be no more powerful than the described ones. So my curse is going to be that until the monsters that are destroying, there's one powerful monster in each of 4 of the 7 kingdoms left. And until he has banished or destroyed or rendered them harmless, he will be impotent.
Okay, worth it. Can't get it up, can't get it down. Can't get it down.
I think impotence might be worse than bestow curse. Like, I would say impotence of like if you wanted to decrease his constitution by 6, to reduce
But then he can't
his
kill the monsters.
potence.
But then he can't kill the monsters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. Like, if you wanted to start researching developing a new spell that specifically made somebody impotent, then we could talk about that. But that's a little specific for a one-off variation of a generic curse.
Well, what about? I mean, I don't want to drop his charisma by -6, but what if it's just his charisma with what was charisma split into before? Like, remember
appearance and boob size. Appearance and what's
right?
Influence, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right. I guess what if I just made him less desirable sexually?
Well, it's one of those things. That's like taking this spell and trying to do some surgery. I know I can make -6 to an ability score, but I would like to just kind of make a next spell modify the ability score so he can't do some checks, some diplomacy checks and bluff checks as well. So these are things you are thinking now that you've cast out wisdom on yourself, and in your greater wisdom, you're like, boy, cursing people that we don't actually want to perform less good. we just want them to be focused on the quest at hand is less easy than I initially thought it might be.
Wait,
What about just making him dumber?
Can we just give him body odor, the likes of which we haven't seen since we were in the poop dungeon?
Oh, that would be.
You guys do have? Don't you guys have some?
Hey.
candles?
Yeah, Brock's got something.
Like, it can't actually be worse than losing a bullet. He would just stink like hell's poop dungeon until he gets this done. No one will want anything to do with him.
Now, you guys do have some bottled up essence from back then when you were in the poop dungeon, and that does seem like a more feasible conditional curse you could
Okay.
put on him.
We'll do that then.
I like
Definitely
the
won't
idea.
be well.
Yeah, I mean, make him stink. It's going to be bad. But then we don't want to be around him,
Here's-
right?
Yeah, well, you're not
Okay,
going to
so-
be. You're going to be well back in time.
Yeah, go. You go, Stinky. Go kill
Um,
some monsters. Good luck finding an inn to sleep in.
All right, so is he currently under the effects of the headset, the shunt?
We'll do that and see if he passes his if he fails the
Wait.
save, we'll take it off.
Are you going to travel? Are you going to travel with him over these couple of days with him stinking?
No, I think if the curse works, then we'll let him be on his way. And
Travel without him.
I can try
Travel
3
without him.
times a day. Yeah.
So, in your infinite wisdom of the owls that has been bequeathed to you, you realize that if the soul of this guy is a factor in this, then just cursing him and trying to force him through, alleviation of the curse to do the bidding of Leonard Cohen, probably not gonna be as successful. See, what I counter propose is we do a skill challenge that is the course of the journey, and you guys try to convince him of the errors of his previous ways and set him on a righteous path.
Oh, we could easily, we
and
could
use
easily
this-
manipulate him for sure along the path.
Well, I don't know. He's quite crafty with the illusions, etc. And if that doesn't work, then curse him.
Suggestion.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's righteous paths are more your ballywick there, Gabriel.
I mean, we just got to do some convincing, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, we'll try the curse method.
So you're gonna let him travel along with you guys in the illusion of being a human, an elfin human of magic, riding along with you guys, and you've got 4 days, unless you guys want to hightail it, 4 days of travel, which you'll be stopping in a couple of inns. You have a chance to host an surprise intervention if you want. Let's come up with some things that you guys can do using the skills you have in your repertoire to convince him not to get messed up with the bad magicians, but to stick with Leonard Cohen and Prince and those guys who are great musicians and also deserving of being great magicians.
So right from the jump, that I started putting on an air of like a real positivity and camaraderie, like we have a lot of fun. I start joking around along the path, and I'm joshing with him. I'm joshing with everybody, and switching my wings off and flying up in the air and like pooping, like not pooping, but like farting in for like crop dusting from the air and then laughing it and shit like that.
All right, you like a kind of like a general diplomacy kind of thing.
Yeah. So basically,
Give us-
immediately when I know the plan, I just turn on the charm a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, give me a diplomacy roll, if you'd be so kind.
Sure. Give me a second.
Absolutely. While he's looking that roll up, who else has got a plan for this kind of?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to use the blitz spell to take him back to when he had ideals, like and like when he first maybe got working with Leonard.
So you're kind of like, hey, let me hypnotize you and let's talk through some things.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping.
Kind of like a Dennis or a Timothy Leary style
Yeah.
guided acid trip,
Yeah,
but with magic.
with magic.
Um,
And yeah,
do you have any relevant like psychotherapy skills or something along those lines? Or can you bluff it?
Let's just get him drunk and be nice and like we got a few days travel. We should be able to befriend anybody over that time. Just like get him on our side. Just let's get him drunk tonight.
Depends on your diplomacy rolls, my dude.
I had a 16.
craft.
Nice. All right,
that'll
good.
work.
Good.
Heal.
I'm not convinced that those are the skills you want to use.
No.
So with your flying around, showing him, hey, look, I got weird skin too. I'm a half demon. Flapping your wings, farting, crop dusting, as you so said. You see that. His illusion. He allows his illusion to sleep a little bit. You feel like you're getting a little headway on there. And you also see something in his eyes that, as a kobold, he doesn't feel like who he really is matches with the destiny that he has envisioned for himself. And that puts him in a tough place. Maybe you can relate. I don't know. Chris, what do you got for skills? What's the skill that you're going to use for your psychotherapy?
Yeah, you raise a very good point.
Torture him. Your torture skill.
Or
actually, I've got
you
an
run-
idea. Well, no, that's not the. No. I mean, it's either like you say, bluffing, or like I don't have any useful skills in the ways of like any sort of profession, the psychological profession of anything. I don't know that there is one on here that would count.
So bluffing ain't a bad idea. But also, you can share your plan with your buddies, and maybe one of them has a skill that they can use in conjunction with your plan, with your plan of doing like past life regression through magic kind of thing. And if you want to engineer something, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, like I have knowledge religion. I could be a televangelist.
That's something we could do.
Like I don't. There's nothing on here. There's nothing. I mean, I could intimidate him. Like I'm from North Jersey. And like, yo,
hey, take these
you're gonna
drugs.
be, you're gonna be better. You're gonna feel better in your head now, right?
I mean, I think a total like mobster gangster intimidate works. Just like, you wouldn't want us to come back and have to whoop your ass again. We're good people and we like things and we want to make this.
Let's go with the
like
bluff.
things.
No, let's go with the
Yeah,
bluff.
yeah. No, I don't think it doesn't go with the idea of just trying to get him to.
Yeah,
to-
he's bluffing
to
that he's
regret what he did.
wants to be friends.
Yeah,
Disguise.
I'll let you go with
I
either.
make myself look like a psychologist.
Tell you what. Here's start with either the bluff or the intimidate, and then maybe after he like gives up some clues in his past life regression, you can use your disguise to dress up like one of his teachers or something.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try that.
Relocate.
I rolled a. Oh no. 14. That's wrong. Oh no, that's right. 12. Yeah, 12.
All right. And that was a bluff or an intimidate? Bluff.
Bluff.
All right. So you freaking get out a cigar and you're like, "This is just a cigar," and you're like, look into my watch or whatever. Is this something you're doing communal? What's the setting you've selected for this? Sitting around the campfire and everybody's high?
Oh yeah. No, this is certainly that's good. Sort of think back on what you did in your past sort of setting. Around a campfire, we've eaten, everyone's stomach's full.
All right. You're like, stare into the fire and tell me what you see. And let me cast a spell on you and get us in the mood. And he because you guys are all friends and you guys are a real adventuring party, seems like he lets the spell take effect, but you're not really convincing him. Maybe faking the German accent, the Austrian accent, maybe he's a little bit more familiar with German accents than you are or something. But he tells you about the kind of shows he likes to go put on. They're pretty exciting, I guess. Sounds good. How about you, Gabe? What's your plan?
So Lagboot was trying to show him that like he can be a kobold and still be a hero, basically. So I'm going to try and expand on that because my religion, the followers of Gripsis, like Gripsis was a devil that broke his chains and reverse Lucifered up and became a bastion of freedom and liberation from those things. And I want to use my knowledge of religion to try and think of other religious figures, maybe a kobold or dragon spawn, something like that like started similar, and kind of like tell him the story of a great kobold holy warrior, if I can come up with one. Does that sound good?
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you identify a skill you want to use for that? Is that your religion skill?
Oh, yeah, my knowledge of
Okay.
religion. 26. So I'll tell them a parable about some kobold that came from typical kobold society, and then found some great good god and became a kobold paladin of righteousness or some crap like that.
And it ended up roadieing for Hendrix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
He's really inspired by that. He opens up. He's still kind of under the effects of Delaware's truth serum. You guys all are. It's feeling good. And he shares a song with you that he's been working on, or that he wrote, or he claims he wrote. We can take a break. You can listen to it. It's Quicksand by David Bowie. It's on the playlist for this campaign. If you guys have access to that, did I share that with you guys previously?
I don't think so.
Well, let me go see if I can't find it. All right, day 2. Lagboot, what are you going to do? What are you going to do waking up on this day of travel? The sun is shining. The plains are open, aloof, and lighthearted. You guys can all take to the open road.
Yeah, and also today I'd like to kind of like slowly, well, not slowly, but just like let my disguise kind of slip away, and so he can see the real me. I want him to look into my eyes, deep down into my eyes, and I'm just gonna wink at him like really subtly in the morning when I see him.
He is very receptive to that. Do you want to use a skill check associated with that?
Let's see.
So maybe look at the skills that you have that are strong or maxed out, and see if you can't relate those. He shared a song with you guys last night. Maybe you'd like to perform a song to...
Yeah, we're at an inn, right?
Uh-huh.
So
you can't, yes, in the larger scope of things, yes, you find yourselves at an inn.
Right. Yeah, I'd just like to like invite him down to breakfast, and then as we get into the hall, I just like slowly break into song, and it's like, you can be a kobold and be a hero with us, or you can be a little bitch and we can discuss whether torturing you is the path of righteousness. Choose wisely, bitch, or die. Yeah, something like that.
All right, roll your perform check.
Okay.
see how you like that. Now, are you? Is that a performance just for him, or are you like? Is it like a musical?
I went into public. Like we're in public, and we go in. Like as we're getting breakfast, the whole place turns because I sing that song as I enter.
You could do a screaming sword solo right in the middle of that shit too.
With a sweet.
You just pull out your sword, and it's like, and you're like, and everyone covers their ears. So yeah, just waiting on that perform roll.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking.
Oh dang.
Destroying shit.
He's very interested in the music itself. He's like, where did you what kind of beat was that? What kind of feeling was that? Could I would you like to jam sometime perhaps?
Yeah, I'm always down to jam. Today, as we travel, I think I'll pull out my phantasmal steeds, and so we can have a nice day of traveling. And I'll tell you all about where I learned to beatbox, and maybe we can collaborate a little bit today. And when I say the word collaborate, I kind of accentuate it, and I look him in the eyes to try and gauge his reaction to that.
He is totally stoked by this concept of jamming with his demon. He thinks that's sweet ass.
Sweet.
Delaware, what you got for today?
pull up the my fancy scribe pad, what I've been calling it. And double check just to see if I happen to have like any cool, like, equivalent of like funny videos.
Like
Just
cat
like-
fart videos.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's like
Just,
shows him a meme. Hey, check this one out.
Maybe I left something on there
Yeah.
that's not related to what I do that I was dicking around at some point.
He shows him a funny
And,
cat meme on his pad on his arm.
Yeah,
All right.
like check it out.
Oh, it's a funny cat meme. That's brilliant.
Cats are cool, right?
I love what you came up with for today, dude. I'm gonna show him a cool video, like maybe a guy falling off this ladder. Check this out, man. Look at this.
I have no idea where this is going. But yes, he agrees that cats are all right.
We're winning him over, dude. If he doesn't like cats, we probably can't relate.
He offers you a cigarette. He's like, cat memes are pretty good. I like to smoke while I watch cat memes. How about you? I like to smoke watching cat memes. How about you?
I only smoke when I need to intimidate somebody.
Oh, this is leading up to an intimidation check.
What the fuck?
No, I'm
yeah,
not- I'm
yeah.
not
Check
gonna
out
do
this.
that.
Check
I'm
out this
not.
meme. They're like,
Sucker punch
you mean mugs him. Check out this fucking meme right now.
I slip on
You
my
like-
knuckle dusters.
What do you think about this?
You like cats, bitch?
What do you think about this? Huh? What do you think about this?
It's a cat meme where the cat gets slaughtered like faces of death.
No.
None
No.
of that.
Something
He
funny.
was offering smokes, and I was saying, no, thank you. I only smoke if I need to intimidate somebody.
Okay, so that's got so meta so fast. All right, so he totally identifies with you in terms of cat memes. Now, how do you pivot into a revelatory, transformational bullshittery? I hadn't really thought this through yet, had you?
No, I was just jiving with the "Hey, aren't we cool buddies?" thing.
I'm gonna take a glance at your character sheet. I'm gonna give you some. And see if I might be just as stumped as you. I don't know.
I mean, getting people to see the light and do good things isn't really something that's Delaware does a lot. But
That's the one he shows him.
Here,
I mean, you could be bluffing, trying to make him be your friend.
I'm
yeah,
not.
because you really.
I mean, it wasn't really bluffing. I guess sort of. Yeah.
All right, you also got some knowledge skills, if I remember correctly. Okay, I see you right here. Yeah,
I mean,
knowledge of
knowledge is
engineering
history.
and
I'm
knowledge
sure-
of the planes.
I'm sure I have lots of stories that I could
Mhm.
tell about
Yeah.
people that got a little mixed up in their ultimate quest to do good.
Makes
to
you think
help.
about makes you think about a cat person. Actually, you're looking at this meme, not smoking cigarettes, and it puts you in mind of this half cat, half human kind of mixed breed that became a planeswalker. Roll, if you want, you can roll your knowledge of the planes to see if you can't tell that story to him, and maybe there's like a moral in there somewhere.
That weird looking that weird looking creatures like that can do really good stuff.
If this is a Faces of Death cat meme, I will be very sad. Oh, he's cute. Okay. So yeah, you're like reminded of the hero of Magic the Gathering, Mirari of the Weatherlight. Was that her name? Miri. She was this cat woman. She was hot as hell. She rode across the plains.
Kit?
What?
Eartha Kitt?
Eartha Kitt?
She played Catwoman with Adam West in the old. You said she was a Catwoman, and I was never mind.
Oh yeah, exactly. And you relay these stories about the exciting things she did as her buddies started all planeswalking all around her, and Siggy seems kind of interested in these sorts of stories. All right, Gabe, what are you doing today?
So I'm going to as we're going along, I'm going to start pulling some long blades of grass and start weaving them into kind of like a cord, like a braided cord. And then I'm going to start making them into kind of like a magic friendship bracelet.
Oh my goodness, that's such a great idea, dude. Why didn't I think of this?
So I'm going to use my spellcraft to try and imbibe them with animal messenger. So that way, Ziggy and I can like send easy animal messages to each other when, if we're still on the same plane, like at least, we can send little squirrels and shit to keep each other updated on what's going on. Yeah, that's my plan. How's that sound?
He accepts your friendship bracelet. He is moved by it. He looks at the magic you have woven into it, and he says, "This is a fascinating weaving, and I do see elements of the pictures that Leonard has shared previously. You seem to have a set of the cards he has made, the tarot.
Yeah.
And this seems to be a similar magic, though not based upon painting. Are you studying Leonard's techniques?
I mean, kind of, man, but I'm taking like a more naturalistic approach to it, and kind of just like using the things that we find in nature, and like, it's important to keep you know to have our Green New Deal to help preserve and conserve this realm and the other planes too, man. Like like everyone's talking about all these issues, man, but like uh if everything's on fire, man, then it doesn't really matter what you feel about your right to bear a crossbow, or like how much we need to tax the wealthy versus the poor. Like the earth's on fire, man.
Right.
I got a 23 for my spellcraft for this spell.
Very nicely rolling. He stares into the into the light of the fire at the inn you guys find yourself in this evening, and gets kind of thoughtful about that. All right. You guys are still one more day away. You could make it 2 if you wanted. Would you like to continue the skill challenge? Or do you feel like you have succeeded? Does somebody want to use a sense motive or some other skill to assess your progress?
What about so I sent a message to everybody inside of their head, and I'm like in the morning, and I'm like, hey, should I maybe try casting suggestion on him, and I'm just like suggest that he take the righteous path and help out with the monsters and do the right thing? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think the risk is we undo the sort of the work we did.
Goodwill.
Goodwill, if he's on to you casting spells to, you know, plant ideas in his head.
Yeah, I think we just try and suss out if we've accomplished things or if we need to continue one more day.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, what's like if he doesn't kill the monsters? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
I mean,
Just
it sort of
let the
kills
monsters
our real
roam
estate value
around.
on our new vacation home, but
we killed the one in our
Yeah,
area.
you killed the kid up in Boss, so. So High Garden real estate values will continue to rise.
you know, I mean, he may double cross us again, but we're gonna like, I don't know. I feel like we do what we're gonna do. We trust that we've done a half decent job, and when we get out, we'll have an ability to sort of see the progress on this plane, and if it looks like it's going belly up, I don't know. We're out with Leonard. We have more power at our fingertips. We figure something out.
Yeah, I think we just try and suss out if we've accomplished it or not, and then we finish. We part ways and on to our next attempts at greatness.
All right, so y'all just kind of combining your sense motive, or someone else have a better role in mind to gauge his mental state, or perhaps even a spell somebody would want to use?
I believe I have a skill sense motive 2, or sense what does this say? Oh, 11. Yeah, so I have a sense motive that I can.
I mean, I can try and do a discern lies again.
And then question him.
Yeah, but I mean that kind of goes into the same category as the suggestion.
Yeah, you do. You can't do a discern lies just on the sly. Like, he will know that you're.
Yeah. No, I think let's all just ask him if he's. We can sit down to breakfast and be like, hey, we're gonna go on our way. How do you feel about taking up your mission of trying to make this realm a better place, man?
Well, it's not only that making this realm a better place is of value, but also the need for a hero to define the zeitgeist of this plane, hopefully ushering in a new wave of magical force, allowing the powers of law and chaos to settle some things. I do think I have what it takes to complete the job that you started. I have gained the trust of Bran and Tyrion, despite my previous actions. I can work with them.
Sweet, man. Well, can I do a sense motive now and see how I'm feeling about that statement?
Yeah, sure. Do it. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Roll it. Roll it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that explodes.
Well, I just did 20 plus 8, so I dialed it in wrong.
Oh.
You know.
And you are very noble for admitting as much, since I would not have got that shit.
I rolled a sense motive as well, so I'm listening to his statement as well.
22.
Delaware. No, it's nearly as good. You feel mortal while reviewing in your mind what he has told you. Delaware, do you want to take part in this?
Yeah.
Since nobody else is rolling a motive of sense.
Yeah, hold on.
Well, he seems sincere.
Right in there with everybody else.
Yeah, he seems sincere to all y'all. He seems sincere, and also that a resolve of moral fiber has been tapped within him that he did not previously have. He sees how you work together as a team. He respects that, like you in particular, like the way you use illusion so as not to frighten people who would otherwise not understand your appearance, versus the way he was using illusion to hide from himself. And hours of seeming to win the day for the good guys. So, quality stuff, probably.
Well, that's good enough for me. I mean, I'm a sucker of a good guy, so I'm just going to believe that this is going to work out just fine.
And you arrive back in the outskirts of Highgarden, riding up on your fictional horsies. I don't have a good costume change for him, but Ziggy is looking very... Okay, tell you what. Actually, he has crafted an illusion now that you can tell he appears as a human to all casual people, but you see through it, and you see who he really is. And maybe that indicates he is
Abe Vigoda.
Abe Vigoda.
Don't even.
It's not funny.
He was Abe the whole time.
So he'll just, since I don't have that many costumes of him right now, he'll be back to the Thin White Duke. Throwing darts in lovers' eyes. All right, so now you guys are here in Highgarden, and you need to find a secluded sepulcher or a space that you can weather. You can escape the flow of time. You also need a couple of accoutrements for the casting of the ritual. A candle, a bell, considerable amount of chalk. What other things might you need for this ritual?
Some sort of time telling device.
All right. Like the watch you were using to hypnotize with earlier,
Yeah. Yeah.
or the alarm clock function on your wrist blaster.
Like something else.
All right. The major domo and the master of flowers are very pleased to welcome you back. They were notified of your imminent arrival by Raven, I guess, and as soon as you make your needs known to them, they find you the things that you need. The space that they find for you that will be untouched by time is a deep subchamber underneath the sewer, or underneath the catacombs of Highgard, interwoven with the roots of that Yggdrasil bonsai in the main court. So it's like austere and auspicious.
It's been there a while. Like, we know that it hasn't changed, that it'll be the same space.
Yeah, the major domo assures you that this space was created when the tree was first planted and has not changed since then. So as long as Highgarden is Highgarden,
Yeah.
this room will be unchanged.
We need a really old space.
Here, we can go over there and take a look at it. And just imagine you're underneath this rather than on top of it. Where are you, Lagboot?
He's over in the city.
In the city, sitting on a rooftop.
Right in front of Matt's house.
Gotta say that today was a good day. Ding, ding, ding.
Right. So how's this time thing gonna work? Are you just gonna launch back as far as you can? Are you gonna try and like skip back in time and tell what's the goal here?
I feel like we're gonna try and be I don't know, Delaware. How far do you think we need to go to get enough things happening so when we get back here we got a Starjammer? Like, do you think it's 500 years? I don't know, man. You're the timey-wimey guy. Like, do you have some knowledge of this?
Yeah. I do. I've got knowledge time continuum.
Oh yeah, that would be a good thing to know. Like,
so
what it would take.
Yeah, what we'd want to know is we want to figure out
Like, when was the like peak of their technological? Like, when was the best time to like? Right before maybe like their industrial revolution, or something like that. Does that make sense? Something like right before.
I mean, I don't think they've had an industrial revolution from the looks of things.
Oh,
No,
I
they're
guess.
pretty
Well,
pre-industrial. They're still pooping
okay.
in holes.
Okay. Well,
or just like, how long you think it would take to be if you impart some knowledge.
Yeah, or when were the old gods, or when were the gods, like, when did they come up with that? Like, maybe we could flip it into like spell jamming as a religion and make them come up with it that way. I don't know. What do you think?
Or just how long it takes to, if you put the seeds in, how long it's going to take for them to, move things enough to have a spell gemmer when we show up in the present. Yeah, on average, I guess it would be a calculation.
So let's say the calculations yield you something like you need to go all the way back to when this tree was planted and when the house, when Highgarden was founded. You ask the Major Domo about the history of Highgarden, and he says that Garth the Gardener founded Highgarden and consolidated the Reach. So House Gardner was the initial family, and they're the people to talk to. They set up the role of Major Domo and Master of Flowers, etc. So
Wait, we're
if
not
you
telling him. We're not telling him that we're planning to go to the past, right? We're just trying to hey, we have about the history of this place. Give us lots of information.
yeah, he's given you this information. He's none the wiser as to what you're planning.
Yeah. Okay,
He
just
doesn't-
making sure that we're not hey, we can travel through time and we're gonna go back into your own path. Like that would be weird.
You could probably tell him that, and he'd be like, haha, yes, sir. The lords and ladies are definitely a weird bunch of people.
Nonetheless, we just act like we're really interested in the history of Highgarden.
Gentlemen, I gotta take a little break. Give that track by David Bowie a listen.
Word.
I do have a liquor delivery fairly close. They'll be here in a bit, and I'll have to go down and grab that. So
Nice. What are you getting, Lagboot?
I got some Juicy Freak, like a citrus IPA, and then a box of wine.
Nice. I just got 4 Roses Pump Action Imperial Pumpkin Ale because I always want to get like 1 or 2 6-packs of pumpkin beer in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's really freaking good. It's a little spicy. It's got a guy with a shotgun shooting pumpkins out of it. It's got like 7.7% alcohol by volume, so that's good. I dig it. What I don't know. What else is going on, guys? As unless you're listening to music.
I was gonna listen to that song, and while I run down and grab this liquor, because they are a couple blocks away. Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Yay, booze! What did I miss?
Oh, Lagboot is grabbing alcohol.
Okay, cool.
What's how so you're back at work? Are you back at work full time, Dave, or?
Yeah, I've been back at work full time for a while now. I actually got promoted, so.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. What does it entail?
So now I'm in charge of all operations of the network operations center. I gotta hire somebody else to do the system administration.
Nice. Was that your old job?
Yeah, I was sysad up until this promotion.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What alcoholic beverage are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a maple nut brown ale by Tommyknocker because I got one of them and I got one of the Odell fruited sours, which I always enjoy drinking, but I'm afraid to get a 6-pack of. because I think I won't like it if I drink 6 of them in a row.
That makes sense. I was telling Lagboot that I got Four Noses Pump Action Imperial Pumpkin Ale.
Dang.
Sipping on. It's delicious.
I feel like I'm not quite ready for pumpkin ales yet.
Dude, they're almost gone. Like,
I have barely got, like, there's such a variety of Oktoberfest beers that come out. Like, I'd like to try a couple more.
Can we transverse to Leonard via that
Kind of a glass
rather than
cannon.
doing a spell?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that was the backup
You know-
plan, and then. So yeah, theoretically, if you came back to the present day, and there was a spelljammer waiting for you, you could just take off and like actually crash through the glass ceiling of the crystal sphere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try as well here while we're
What's
thinking about that.
what's a cool creature or idea that you guys want to have for your, what do you want it to look like?
Like what the crest of the ship will be.
Yeah. What's the ship going to be shaped like? Sky's the limit.
I mean, a griffin would be pretty dope.
Ooh, actually, that's a fucking good idea. All right, so like a griffin undercarriage, kind of the nose of it looks like a griffin with some wings, and then maybe like it'll just be like a fairly small craft, which is like a little underneath, and then like a top deck on the back of the griffin that you can go up there and kind of look out from, like a kind of like a quarter deck. You know what I mean?
I mean, I love the griffin idea, but isn't it supposed to be a lady? So we can have like big titties on our ship.
Griffins can be female.
You could have a griffin with big titties. Sure.
Griffins be
Or
an
you don't-
egg-laying species,
Yeah, I mean,
therefore wouldn't have mammary glands.
I think harpies are also egg-laying species.
how about a wyvern? Wolf said in my chat.
Sorry, keep going. I like the griffin idea.
I mean,
We don't-
you
we
can,
don't
you can
need
still
titties.
you can still paint half-naked ladies on the side of it. I'm down with that. Though.
Oh, we're going to.
This guy's from Brooklyn. Of course he's going to.
We'll probably need to, in the past, set up like an art class, for World War II era.
Well, we could have like
airplane art.
we could like have masks.
Girls?
We could have masks
Yeah.
with like sails, and the sails could depict whatever you want, but the boat should be shaped like something. I like the idea of a griffin. I thought it was a good
I
idea.
do.
Are
do
we?
too.
Do you guys want to tie the Bahum clan to a griffin crest? Is that dude? These peasants get off on heraldry. If you were like, we're a Bahum clan, look, it's a fucking griffin.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
a fleur de lis or whatever they say, then they'll be like, oh, these guys definitely know what they're talking about.
Dude, it's a griffin quartered on fields of red and big ass titties.
1d12 titties.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good crest.
Yeah.
That's a good crest.
Done. It's now official. Stamped. Signet ring.
Dude, I know somebody who draws really good titties, so I'll have them drum us up a real crest for this. Okay. His name is Eddie Snacks.
Is it someone? Is it someone from your fifth grade class?
Can he scratch it onto the bottom of a desk for us? They do those wolf memes where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go get some food from a human. How bad could it be? 500 generations later, he's a Pomeranian, right?
I can't show that on chat.
That's what the heraldic scribes of the Middle Ages are left with. some acneed fourth grader scratching his heraldic crest into the bottom of a desk in homeroom.
Exactly. It's gonna be great.
All right, so y'all are going all the way back in time. We can do that as another skill challenge, let's say, next time, because we've had quite enough excitement for one day.
Okay.
I can't keep drinking because I'm gonna run out of beers.
Okay.
And
Word.
yeah, and then when we do go back, the other thing we were gonna do is like plant the seeds of like not just the Bahum clan and that, and then cool crests with titties on them and stuff, but like that someday we would return
Yeah.
slay
yeah,
monsters,
right.
but then we would need to take on more important business and deputize Ziggy to slay the monsters in our name.
They're preparing for
Oh,
our
like it.
return. Yeah, and right. And our, what do we call them? Colleagues? No, our friends and the Bahum clan will one day rid the land of some evil monsters, and that if they don't prepare the technology and the craft for us, then there could be ill portents in the future.
Don't neglect that you slew the dragon.
Yes,
I think that's
Dragon
kind of key
slayers.
to your mythology.
yes.
Eventually.
Well, that happened even before the seven monsters of the seven kingdoms.
No, I know. I was just making a joke about it. It took us a couple of tries.
Oh yeah, well that's not how the myths go, man. The myths are just like whack up there and
Yeah, they
slap
forget
the
all-
dragon with my dick, knock its fucking head off.
The fact that I almost fucking died, I was torched fucking corpse pretty much. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, and then again, almost died when the Cat of B Plus fucking farted on you.
Yeah, I mean, I am almost dead most of the time. Remember, when the fucking dragon used his flame the first time, I like rolled off the side of the like water.
You
like,
splashed
yeah.
into the surf real fast.
Oh,
Singed.
yeah, and Delaware will be known as Delaware the Dragon Rider
All right.
for having magically jumped onto the dragon's back and then not known what to do from there.
And they call me
That was
Lagboot the
totally
Singed.
legit.
The Bahum clan calls me Lagboot the Singed.
Nice. That's a good name. All right. We will work on the myths in the coming weeks and gather next time to execute the ritual of travel through the narrative time of this plane.
Thanks for playing, guys.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, it was awesome.
I'll see you
Right
next
on,
time.
and had a good
Dude,
time.
and by the way, you guys get the feeling of the flavor of Ziggy's magic, while obviously illusion. It's not exclusively illusion. And potentially, he is an oracle who is revealing to you secrets in his lyrics. Just throwing that out there.
Interesting.
Maybe he doesn't even know it yet. All right, gents. It was a fine time this week on the Next Bardo. I look forward to next week.
Peace out.
Me as well. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.